Hello and welcome. This is part 2 with the crypto codes and how I am playing them. As the first one was codes A through P, this one will be R through Z. And this is a situation when what I believe it's time to switch your order around when you barely miss it. Because my buy order was roughly around here and it could have been closer. But when it misses it just by a bit and it has a little bit of a move, my thinking is if it's going to go lower again, I probably might want to have a bigger push below it. Thus, maybe consider somewhere in this area or this previous support. So 85 down to 60. And this is something I'm also holding, which means I have to lower my sell order. So instead of selling in here and here, I'm going to remove this one and sell it down in here. And give me a second here. REP is next, Augur, and it's came back to its previous support. Again, this is something in which that I have been owning. Probably should have got out of an okay amount in here. However, with that being said, I'll be selling starting at around here and in various up points. As far as where I'm buying next, since I already had an okay holding, I didn't want to buy here. Rather, with a 68% correction is in at around the 530 handle, which represents this key previous high, or it's actually below it. It's in here, 53. Sia Coin, on the other hand, has not worked out too well with a buy at about 358. Was able to sell a very small amount in here, and then another buy in at about 333. And that is it for buying. You know what? Maybe this previous level might work out, but I'm just going to attempt to sell what I've bought at these higher prices for a profit. And if it does happen to go down here, then I'll have to sell a little bit lower. And with Strat, this is a case where I missed out on a buy. I have some, not that much, definitely enough where I could have added to my position at this 38.2% Fibonacci level. Still not too far off from that point. It should have a bounce from here. However, if there is another correction in the market, we're looking at about the 487 handle, or roughly in and around here. So that's where I will put a buy order in. But when I have a first hit there, I don't like to, for the most part, I'll play it on a second time. Maybe if it has a decent rally and does something like this, then I might later put a buy order here at the 10 number again. But if I miss the first one, I'm usually going to go for the second one, and this one not being, that wouldn't be in the case again. Next up is SYS, and this is another situation where I probably should have had a buy order in at around 37, but that isn't that good of a buy because that's what the key Fibonacci number happens to represent. Will it be a pierce below, or is there going to be a fast move to the next one? Time, of course, will only tell. The key number is 3831 and 2082, so I'll try the 20 number, just a hair over 2,000. And most of the orders that I have in are not shown on this chart, and the logarithmic fashion on this is just terrible. And I'll go through other buy orders, and there's a lot of them on the next video, but continuing on within this series. Steam is something that I bought a little over 5,000 and about 5,300 actually. And I only had a small amount as it was starting to go lower. Probably should have bought even closer into here. Maybe this previous low, but again, the situation, had I have had it at the 35 number, like a hair above, which is probably the number I should have had a buy order in at, then I would have had to replace it after a rally like this, because I don't want to buy after here to rally and back to here. I don't want to buy at that level. I'd want to buy much lower. But I think just by looking at this, the key place for where it was is 21,000. And it's interesting because when I first started doing this, I called this a dead chart, which a lot of them were as I was looking at this in late February, basically at the bottom. And one thing I stated was, I think this has a good chance of bottoming at 6,000, which it ultimately did. So let's take a look at the Fibonacci now from that 6,000 low, and the high is in at around 100,000. And usually when these things pierce, they usually pierce extra. This is not the case. 34, 139, and 175, the key numbers. And again, that's just right in here, barely below it. So again, I wouldn't be a buyer at that level. If there was any place to buy, when we look at the 17.5 handle in here, it's very difficult because just by looking at it, the 20 or so number seems like a reasonable spot because I'm looking for areas where it comes where it was and key congestion areas, as we can see here. But more importantly, I'm looking for significant legs lower. So situation here, that would be a decent down push for that market. So that's the things that I'm looking for as levels for support. And with VIA, I bought this a couple days back, right down in here at pretty much the same price it's at now, 26 high change. I unloaded half of it at 29 high change, close to 30. And I have a buy order in for, let me go check, a little over 16 back in this area here if there's going to be another leg lower. And I'll be looking to sell, or I have a sell area up in this point in here around the 40 number. Vericoin, VRC, I don't own any of these, but I do have a buy order. I hair over the 5,000 handle, somewhere up in this area if there's going to be some further selling within the market, but like a lot of them overextended. And whether it keeps going straight down or if there's any type of moves, either way, I'm pretty confident on the 5K number. Moving on to VTC, I bought yesterday at 15,000, so down a small level. And I'll be looking to sell it around the 22 handle in that area as far as a future buy order. I hair over 6,500, representing this line, is where I will be looking to be a buyer again. Ripple, I have a very hard time trusting. I don't own any. I didn't buy here. 35, that's the number that I'm looking for. That's a significant move, but this is a volatility that this thing is known for having as well. Moving on with Monero, and it's up there as one of my key staples with Dash and Litecoin. What I like about this is its major volatile moves. So when you see these moves like this, if you have your buy and sell orders ready in place, then you're ready to go. And that's what I do with this. You have buy orders ready to go. You have sell orders ready to go at all times. If you know what I'm getting the drift at, you can have lots of buy orders. And then, oh, you sell this, or buy that rather, you sell it here. Oh, you buy that, you sell it here. So on and so forth. Oh, I sell this, let's buy it back here. And that's pretty much what I do on this one. ZEC was something that I got completely out of as it was falling down here within the band. And I bought it back at 75, meaning within this key level of resistance. I sold half of what I ended up buying at around 84, and I have a buy order for lower prices in at a little over the 60 handle, which is right in here. And let's move on to the next one. Actually, there isn't any more. This is the final one for this video. There will be another one which will go over different codes on Bittrex, not shown here, as I did miss a lot of buy orders that were executed. I didn't even go over many of my buy orders today because about 9 or 10 of them came through, and a lot of them are codes not shown in here. So I'll go over some of the buy orders I placed in today on that video. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great night. Bye-bye.